are live for today's NASCAR Xfinity Series full flag-to-flag coverage at the Darlington Raceway for the Sports Clips VFW Help a Hero 200 for this afternoon's race. It'll be 200 miles, 147 laps, a fairly quick race on the NASCAR Xfinity Series schedule late in the regular season. A star-studded packed event for this one as we have 5 Cup Series regulars in the field for this race, and most of them are drivers you see winning on or can win on any given Sunday. I will have to get the poll up in the chat at some point before the start of this race today. This race is taking place on the USA Network, and the cars are just rolling off a pit road at the moment. So we are just a few pace laps away from the drop of the green flag. Before we get the poll up in the chat, I will go through the starting lineup for this one and then let you listen into some late-breaking updates after that from the USA Network broadcast booth. Starting on the poll today is going to be Christopher Bell. He's my pick to win this race here today. That 20 car has gone to victory lane 6 times this year with 4 different drivers, Bell being one of which. His last win came at New Hampshire and his only other Xfinity start of the season, so trying to go 2 for 2 this year. Sheldon Creed, his teammate, will be starting on the front row as well in the second place position. Sam Mayer with A.J. Allmendinger, a couple of bow ties rounding out row number 2. In row 3 will be a third Joe Gibbs Toyota on the inside with an RCR Chevrolet on the outside, Chandler Smith and Austin Hill. Brandon Jones with Riley Herbst will make up row 4. Row 5 for the Parkers, Parker Retzlaff and Parker Kligerman. Sammy Smith with Corey Heim will make up row 6, and row 7, Ryan Sieg and Anthony Alfredo. Joe Graff Jr. and Chase Elliott in the field today. Elliott, another one of those Cup regulars running this race. They'll be in row 8. Row 9 will be Jeb Burton and a former Cup champ as well, Joey Logano in that row. He'll be in the 15 car for AM Racing. Kyle Weatherman and Justin Allgaier will start in row 10. Allgaier, the spring Darlington winner for the Xfinity Series earlier this season. Cole Custer with Matt DiBenedetto will make up row 11. Shane Van Gisbergen deeper in the field in row 13. Carson Kvapil with Brendan Poole in row 14. Interested to see how Kvapil does today with this stacked Xfinity field. He's had a great set of runs in the few starts he's had in this JRM 88 this season. Noah Gragson, the last qualifier of the Cup regulars in the field today, will start the inside of row 15 with Josh Williams to his outside. Kyle Sieg with Blaine Perkins will make up row 16. Behind them in row 17, Leland Honeyman and Ryan Ellis. David Starr, Garrett Smithley in row 18, and rounding out the field in row number 19 will be Chad Fincham and Greg Van Ulst. 38 car field for today's race. Pit road speeds being checked by the Xfinity Series drivers, As they're down in pit road, they'll get the one to go signal the next time by. So here are those updates from the USA Network.
He has the fewest playoff points. Remember, those are the points that take you all the way through the playoffs. They go from round to round. So he needs to win stages today and hopefully win that race and get 5 playoff points that transfer after today. Kim?
Despite having a 2-win season and being locked into the playoffs, Sam Mayer described the last couple of months as cold for the team. He's got 3 straight finishes of 13th or worth, including 2 DNFs. So he told me the goal for this weekend is to turn the season around. So I asked, what exactly does that mean? He said, we're looking for an uneventful day. We don't want to make headlines. We just want a solid day with a top 10 finish. That could be easier said than done here at Darlington. However, Sam did finish the spring race in the top 5 and had a great qualifying lap. He'll roll off 3rd.
So you're going to hear a lot about playoffs, and that's because it's just 4 races away until they get underway. You take a look at the playoff standings. Everyone in yellow has won. They're locked in. The ones above that red line, they're looking for every point they can get.
Yeah, they really are. Ryan Sieg, Sammy Smith start right near each other in this race. So right from the start, they'll be watching each other.
All right, before we see the green flag, let's hear a couple pep talk. We'll start with the 98.
All right, man. Got along right here. Nice and hot. Stay cool in there all day long. Nice and smooth all day long. We'll just hang up in the front. Not to get it off, man. It's a short race, right? But you still have to be patient. It's going to be super important that they fire early, below the back end of a run. Got speed. It's huge with all that. So, got a real good color. Everything's in a good spot, man. I'm going to copy that.
Steve, it's a sprint. This thing is 147 laps, 200 miles. I mean, it goes fast. How do you plan for this race?
Well, very fast, but you heard right there, you still have to save tires. 45 laps stage 1, the second for stage 2.
And you would hope to run either of those stages or both of those stages on just one set of tires. You don't want to change tires in the middle of stage 1 or stage 2 because that 57 lap stage, while not much longer, if yellows break that up, Jeff, new tires are required. They only have 4 sets of tires in their pits. So you really want to try to save them for that final stage because if there's a caution, even after 5 laps, brand new tires are a huge advantage.
2 by 2 down the back stretch, led by Christopher Bell and Sheldon Freed. Jeff.
Stage splits today, 45, 45, and 57. Field run about 65 to 70 laps, but because of the excessive tire wear, we're pretty much going to be seeing pit stops during nearly every caution over a longer green flag run. And by long, I mean pretty much 10 plus laps, if that, in this race. Each of these teams get only a select amount of tires, though, so it'll be interesting to see when they will put them on the car. Could see some strategy come into play as a result. Christopher Bell, the pole sitter, leads the field into the restart zone. Green flag is in the air, and the highly anticipated Xfinity race at Darlington is underway. It's a race that we usually see an instant classic of a finish the last several years, so this is definitely one I've been looking forward to all weekend, and here we are on this Saturday afternoon. Bell easily closing to the outside lane in the middle of turns 1 and 2 on the initial start with the lead. One car drops down below the apron, still trying to get up to speed on the turns 1 and 2 area of the racetrack, and now on the back straightaway, continuing to lose time. Couldn't tell exactly who that car was. Christopher Bell does lead the opening lap of the race by about 9/10 of a second. It's actually Parker Retzlaff in the 31 who was slow. So Retzlaff, who qualified in the top 10, had to drop to the apron on the initial start. And it looks like he is coming to pit road here in the early going. He was off the pace, almost caused a big wreck in the middle of 1 and 2 as the field was door to door, side by side behind him. Sammy Smith got in the back of Parker, and Parker's down on pit road already. 2 laps complete as race leader Christopher Bell has now led the first couple of laps of this one from the pole, while his teammate Sheldon Creed remains in second, but already 1.1 seconds off the race lead. Sam Ayers 1.6 seconds back in third. A.J. Allmendinger in fourth, 1.7 seconds off the lead. And Austin Hill 1.9 seconds off the lead in fifth. That is the top 5 through the first couple of laps. Parker Kligerman battling for position with the 26 of Corey Heim. Truck Series off for the next few weeks. Heim in the 26. So we're running for a truck title. 5 wins in the Truck Series season already this season for Heim, through just 17 races nonetheless. Ryan Sieg making a pass on Anthony Alfredo and clears him into turn 1. Lap number 4 of this one. And with Retzlaff stalling out, it looks like on pit road, that is going to bring out our first caution of the day. So Retzlaff is stuck in the middle of pit road. He did not make it into his pit box. And we are already under caution here in this one. So going to need a safety truck to get down to pit road and push. Retzlaff did not complete a lap. Guess technically he'll complete a lap with the push truck getting him into the garage area or his pit box, whatever happens first there. But that might be the only lap that Retzlaff will be able to complete here today. Not exactly sure on the issues to that 31 at the moment. Full screen commercial break on the USA Network here, just 5 laps in. We'll stay right here with our full flag-to-flag coverage for the race on KRC. Be sure to hit the like button on the stream if you haven't yet. Subscribe for more NASCAR content as well. Try to run that like counter up to at least 50 to beat the stream from earlier, which was our Cup practice and qualifying stream, which took place just a couple hours ago. Finished a little over an hour before the start of this stream. Frank Powers TRG Tornado, thanks for tuning in. Just found out Chase is racing today. Yep, Chase Elliott in the field. Cup regulars that are in this race would include Christopher Bell, Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Ross Chastain, and Noah Gragson. So 5 Cup regulars in the field, and Shane Van Gisbergen, the only Xfinity regular who is running both the Cup and Xfinity races this weekend, doing double duty at the track Too Tough to Tame as well. 700 miles of racing over a 24-hour period on this very hot and slick racetrack here this weekend. Usually see Denny Hamlin in this race. Christopher Bell taking his spot for Joe Gibbs Racing. It's usually the one race in the Xfinity. Cerebral Assassin, thanks for tuning in also. Many others also welcome into the stream. Up to 16 likes in the early going. Appreciate that. Again, under caution for Parker Retzlaff stalling on pit road. He was very slow on the first lap of the race. He was probably sitting there for a little bit before the caution came out. Considering that he was slow in the middle of 1 and 2 on the opening lap, getting up to speed, and the caution didn't come out until lap 4, leaders coming around to lap 5 at the time of the yellow. I guarantee he was probably sitting on pit road for like a lap and a half, and then NASCAR's like, all right, we'll throw the caution now. Like, technically, I should have done it right away, but all right. Caution nevertheless. Too early to pit for tires only because of the limited amount of sets that these teams have. I'd be shocked if anybody came to pit road here. Even though 4 laps is a lot of laps on these tires at Darlington. Cup race will have a lot more sets of tires to be able to use. Though that is a 500-mile race, this only 200 here today. So definitely a tough break for Retzlaff right out of the get-go. Qualified well. Again, he started in 9th place. And immediately lost power on the opening lap in turns 1 and 2. Luckily, he didn't cause that giant stack up when Sammy Smith initially got into the back of him. Ryan Sieg did a great job not piling into the 8. That definitely would have caused some mayhem in the middle of the pack. Right around that 10th place position at the time of contact. There was very minimal contact to Sammy Smith's race car as well, so I don't think it's going to hurt him at all. No damage on the 8 or the back of the 3rd. Little contact off turn 2 between Justin Allgaier and the car to his inside. Looked like Allgaier in gray. Taylor Gray, Joe Graff Jr. Joe Graff Jr. in the 19 car this weekend, excuse me on that. Taylor Gray's ran that 19 car at times this year as well. Lights are out on the pace car. Quick caution with all they had to do was get the 31 car into his pit box while his crew goes to work under the hood of his race car. 3 laps of caution, and that's it. Lap 9 will be back to the restart and back to where we were at the beginning with the Joe Gibbs Toyotas on the front row of Christopher Bell and Sheldon Creed. And again, it's Bell lining up on the inside of row 1. The Sports Clip car trying to win the Sports Clip sponsored race is Christopher Bell. Hamlin running a Sports Clip paint scheme as well this weekend with his FedEx 11 in the Cup Series race tomorrow. Like the font on it, they got a winged font on the 11 car this weekend. Big run for Sam Mayer on the outside lane. Right behind the side-by-side battle for second in front of him. He'll bump draft Sheldon Creed down the front stretch, and both the 1 and the 18 clear the 16 of Allmendinger into the first turn. And Austin Hill on the outside going to squeeze by Chandler Smith for position as well as he jumps up into 5th. Mostly single file off of turn 2, second lap following the restart. Kligerman still trying to battle for position with the 26 of Corey Hine. They were battling before the caution. They're battling after the caution as well.
Wasn't able to get it done. Was able to fall in behind him.
It's Joey Logano in the 15 up into the wall.
So that's the little brush of the wall.
A little kiss.
Actually passing Noah's to qualifier down 30th. He's in 16th already.
Chase Elliott in the 17 also making the pass on Logano. Time right up against the wall.
Yeah, that's down the back straightaway. Wall actually moves out into the racetrack a little bit. Here's Logano on the outside of Chastain, just gets in the wall.
And an issue for Logano. You see smoke
Tire
on
rub.
the right side. Maybe a little too much contact.
Looks like flat right side tire somewhere.
Oh, it's an engine.
Oh, man.
Smoke out the right side pipes. So, looks like he shut it off now as he's going to roll down to pit road. That could be a very short day for Logano.
Yeah, disappointing for this team to have a cup champion in your car. To get that experience and then just essentially learn very little other than practice and qualifying.
Marty, what are they saying on the radio?
They think it's an engine issue. They're going to take it to the garage for Joey Logano. So if Cup Series drivers, Jeff, wanted a little bit of experience today, Logano's not going to get it. How about Riley Herbst in the wall? Dramatic start here, Darlington.
Very hard for that 98 of Riley Herbst. He's slow on the racetrack, but a big hit in the wall. Came in 7th.
And I thought Riley had maybe the best car in practice on a long run. Tons of pace, but this thing,
Yeah, the right front is down.
yeah, it's hurt.
He's limping around the racetrack now.
Yeah, this is the exit of turn 2. He has to go all the way to the back stretch. So it really comes down to, I don't see any debris on the racetrack currently. If the right front tire stays on it, we'll probably stay under green. If it's parked.
Yeah, Carcass looks like it's trying to come off the right front, but hasn't to this point. The side panels of that right front fender kind of caved in enough. It might be keeping the tire in somewhat intact. Herbst was running in the top 10. It looked to be around the 7th place position at the time of him getting up against the wall significantly in turns 3 and 4, causing the flat tire. And now it looks like Anthony Alfredo is slow, as he has a flat tire as well. So Joey Logano blows an engine. And then back-to-back laps of drivers getting up against the wall and causing a flat tire. It looks like Alfredo hit the wall off turn 2, or in the middle of 1 and 2. He's got a flat tire in the 5 car. In the lap before that, the 98 of Riley Herbst hits the wall a lot more significantly than Anthony Alfredo. They're definitely going to have to crinkle out the right front fender, and the right rear for that matter, to get the right rear tire on the 98 car. Herbst lost a lap before even getting down onto pit road, but NASCAR keeping it green during these couple of incidences that we saw on the racetrack during this green flag action. Shane Van Gisbergen working his way through the field up to 17th after qualifying back in 29th. 12 positions gained for the driver of the 97. Noah Gragson, who started in 30th, is up to 13th as well. He's the biggest mover of the race. Christopher Bell has led all 17 laps of this one at this point. An 8/10 of a second lead over Sheldon Creed in second place. Sam Mayer still third, AJ Allmendinger fourth, and Austin Hill fifth. That is the top 5. Again, lap 18. Showing an in-car cam from the 44. Maybe got into the left rear corner panel of the 91 just a bit. Actually, rather, that was the 97 of Shane Van Gisbergen. Maybe making a little contact with the 91 of Kyle Weatherman. Left rear corner panel. SVG continues to drive through the field. Riley Herbst still on pit road as they assess the damage on the right side of their race car. The team is having a heck of a time trying to pull that right front fender off. They couldn't even get the new right front tire on. Not under a damaged vehicle policy clock situation because of the incident taking place during green and no caution came out for it, so they could take as long as they want on that 98 car. Alfredo's back on the racetrack, 2 laps down, but still on pit road, 3 laps down and counting for Riley Herbst. And Van Gisbergen up to 16th as he just passed Ross Chastain on the racetrack as well. His future Cup Series teammate. Next season, with SVG going to the Cup Series full-time and a third Trackhouse Racing entry, picked up a charter for what will be the 88 car next season for SVG. Alfredo trying to make up a lap on these fresher tires and maybe get himself into the free pass position before the end of the stage. Obviously, being a whole lap ahead of Herbst, it's not going to be the case for Riley. Riley may be able to unlap himself at least one time, though. Jesse Love also passing Ross Chastain on the track. And that passes for 17th. Fastest lap on the racetrack that last time by was actually the third place driver, Sam Mayer, ran a 33.079. And now this lap that just completed, fastest car on the track was Austin Hill in fifth. So the top 5 are trading lap times up at the front of the field right now. 24 laps to go still in stage 1 in this race. We'll take our first ad break of the stream. You're listening live to the Sports Clip Haircuts VFW Help a Hero 200 at Darlington Raceway for the NASCAR Xfinity Series live on KRC. It's a NASCAR nonstop side-by-side commercial break on the USA Network at the moment, about halfway through stage 1. Only caution was for Parker Retzlaff stalling on pit road after it appeared to have some sort of a mechanical/engine issue on the opening lap of the race. During the commercial break, Sam Mayers made a pass for second on Sheldon Creed. Little slide job through turn 3 and 4. And Justin Allgaier still right around where he qualified. 10th place position for Justin, making a pass on Sammy Smith for 9th currently. Again, Allgaier won at Darlington in the spring race on throwback weekend earlier this May. It was the first of a couple wins on the year for Justin. Got his second of the season at Michigan just a couple weeks ago. Justin Allgaier currently leads the regular season point standings for the Xfinity Series. Cole Custer was ahead by 50-plus points over Allgaier just 2 races ago. Back-to-back huge issues with crashes early in races for Custer has now dropped him to just 33 points out of first. But again, that 50-point cushion he had is gone, and now he's 33 points back. And after today's race concludes, still 3 races to go in the regular season for the Xfinity Series. Both Custer and Allgaier locked into the playoffs, as of course they have wins. Any driver that has a win that's a full-time Xfinity regular is locked into the playoffs. 8 of them currently, 12 available spots to make the playoff field, which is only 7 races. Those drivers with wins would include Shane Van Gisbergen, who still has the most with 3 wins this season, all on road courses. Austin Hill, Chandler Smith, Justin Allgaier, and Sam Mayer each have 2 wins for those 4. And then 3 drivers with 1 win this year, which would include Cole Custer, Riley Herbst, and Jesse Love. The 4 drivers above the cutoff line of points coming into the race would include A.J. Allmendinger, Sheldon Creed, then Parker Kligerman, and Ryan Sieg. Ryan Sieg has the final playoff spot by just 15 points over Sammy Smith coming into this race today. Sammy Smith, first driver out. And then a huge points differential back to Brandon Jones, who would be 14th on the playoff grid. Then Anthony Alfredo had a flat tire in the early going already today, and Brennan Poole will be 16th in points. So that is all entering the race, as you see on screen. We'll pull the leaderboard back up now, as we're going to have a battle for the race lead here very soon. Pretty much as of right now, we already have a battle for the lead. Sam Mayer looking very quick on this long green flag run. He's ran down Christopher Bell. And trying to pick up a playoff point to stage win here if he can get by him. Plenty of time to do so. 17 laps left. Mentioned that Mayer was the quickest car on the track right before the commercial break, and he continues to be the quickest car on track on a relatively regular basis. Mayer to the inside of Bell into 3 and 4. Slides up the racetrack. Mayer's done a great job with these slide jobs so far today. Very close to the wall. Crossover attempt by Bell to the bottom, but can't get underneath the 1. And Sam Mayer leads for the first time today at Darlington. Great job by Sam here in the early going. We'll see if Christopher Bell can try to keep up with the 1 of Mayer. Doesn't seem to be at the moment right now. That last lap, Mayer was 0.3 of a second quicker than Bell. Everybody's fastest laps of the day came between laps 2 and 4, it seems like, for the top 27 in the running order. And we've seen already a bunch of tire fall off in this one, over 2.5 seconds The difference in Sam Mayer's fastest lap of the race to the last lap he just ran, which was a 33.601. His fastest lap was a 31.025 on the pole. Lap 2, Christopher Bell ran a 30.701. And that last lap, he just ran a 33.969. Over 3 seconds difference in fall off in just right around 30 laps practically. It's about a second every 10 laps or so we're seeing in fall off as caution's out for the second time today. Piece of debris somewhere on the racetrack. Hard to tell exactly where. It's in the racing line just below the hashed line, but we see drivers run the apron typically. So cause of the caution there probably came from somebody who has gotten up against the wall and earning a Darlington stripe today, if I had to guess. So 15 laps to go in stage 1. We may see some tire strategy here. Who will maybe not pit, save a set in case we get a plethora of cautions, especially in the final stage, and how many will come to pit road right now? I'd imagine most of the field will definitely come down. You stay out, you're not going to get any stage points and win the stage. We're going to have too many laps left to be able to hold on at about 30 lap older tires.
Do you think you can do that today just by playing this game normal? If you do, then don't. But if you feel like you're missing something, new tires here are so much faster. He can not only get points, he can win this stage. It's a risk, Steve, and a gamble because you could not have tires late in the race when you want them, but it could potentially be an opportunity to gain a lot of points.
Well, the risk is if you stay out and the field pits, you're going to have a hard time staying on the lead lap at 10 or 12 laps. I know that sounds crazy, but you're multiple seconds off the pace on old tires.
3 seconds.
I think if I'm Sam Mayer, I stay on the racetrack. Bell, I stay on the racetrack. But it's going to be a split. Someone's going to decide to use that set of tires. Now, in tomorrow's cup race, this is easy. It's time to put a set of tires on. You know, we got at least 30 laps out of this set.
What would worry me about my gamble is the number of laps I had to make it up, right? It's only, well, they're going to drop the green flag with what? 10 laps, 9 laps? Can I get from back in the pack up far enough to take advantage of it? I don't know, Steve. That'd be a long way to go.
Math says you will, but math doesn't take into account all those cars you have to pass, right? I mean, you'll be fast enough. See right here, a lot of activity on pit road, a lot of interested crew chiefs. Like I said, I'd be staying on the racetrack, but I do think someone who doesn't have track position is going to split the decision.
We saw teams up on the wall. That doesn't mean their car is going to come.
A lot more cars stayed out than I thought.
Sets of tires, you have to have them later in the race, so no one near the front is going to come to pit road.
That would have been fun to watch.
If you are in the Darlington area, you've got to visit the museum. There's so much history from a racetrack that saw its first race in 1950, and virtually everyone who's who in NASCAR has had success at this racetrack.
You know, when I take the bike out like this, almost.
Second caution of the race right around lap 30, all in stage 1. Bill Stegman, thanks for tuning in. He's taking all guy for the win. Did Parker Retzlaff 31 get restarted? Yes, during the last commercial break during green flag action, he did return back to the racetrack. So seemingly Retzlaff has returned 25 laps down. It was just a few laps before the caution he came back out. He's now completed 6 laps. Originally had dropped onto pit road after just 1 lap completed, so he'll pass Joey Logano in the running order, who had an engine failure, and then Blaine Perkins is also off track 16 laps down. It was not documented on USA Network, at least on the telecast, that he had a problem, but Retzlaff can get by Perkins for position as well. So there's a couple spots to be gained there. Obviously, he's not going to get anywhere near the lead lap, being as many laps down as he is, but being a young driver can still get more track time as well, and a learning experience to say the least. So trying to get something out of the day for that 31 team. They're in a must-win situation to make the playoffs, so in the sense of that, you're probably looking at Atlanta next weekend of being the race that they have to win. To be the last drafting / super speedway style racetrack before the playoffs for the Xfinity Series schedule. That'll be the playoff opener for the Cup Series next week, and the trucks are still off until the middle of the month. If of September. Truck's next race won't be until Bristol on a Thursday night. 88, Carson Kloppel is 23rd, up 4 spots from the start. Biggest mover so far is still Noah Gregson, who is up 15 positions, and then Shane Van Gisbergen up 12 spots, as both those guys are running 15th and 17th. They're up a little bit higher in the running order right before that last caution came out, so they might have been pushing a little harder earlier in the run to gain track position, and as a result, they started losing time right before the caution came out. So it'll be interesting to see if they can hold on around where they are running in the order right now on this dash to the end of stage 1.
Of course, 20-year-old reigning Super Motocross World Champion Jet Lawrence, he's back, ready for the challenge from Pro Motocross champ Chase Sexton, plus 250 superstar Hayden Deegan defends his crown. All the events will have an exclusive pre-race show 30 minutes before gate drop on Peacock. And there you see the schedule in Charlotte, Texas, and Vegas.
Yeah, second year of this format. Basically take the Supercross and the motocross season, all the points, add them together, and we're going to solve it right here with a 3-race playoff. Going to be a lot of fun. You mentioned Jet Lawrence. He's my pick. He's kidding. All right. Too much firepower. I think Jet Lawrence on the Honda. That's the guy. Coming off hits.
He's old now. Remember, he's old now. Marty.
AJ Allmendinger in 5th. How's the handling on the 16 car? Listen in.
At 10-4, man.
So, Jeff, you have 6 Darlington wins. Has your car ever wheel hopped going into a corner? How drastic does that mean the handling is on the 16 car?
It did once. That was the worst record I ever had. Yeah, to talk about wheel hopping at a racetrack like this is a very rare thing. So, you have to hope it gets better, because if not, he'll have his hands full. And I do want to say before we go green here, old tires on a restart at Darlington, there are going to be a lot of guys spinning tires and making mistakes.
Sam Mayer taking the outside of the front row for the restart. Bell on the inside. Interesting, considering Bell took the bottom for the initial couple of restarts. We'll see what the launch will be for Mayer. Waited to the back half of the restart zone to get going there. Green flag back in the air. Sheldon Creed times his restart out a little better. Almost went 3 wide to the outside of both the 1 and the 20 on the front row. Backed out of the gas a little bit on corner entry. And Sam Mayer trying to hold clear of Bell off the exit of the corner, and does. Bell clears the 18 for 2nd, and Creed clear for 3rd. Side-by-side for 4th between the 16 and the 21, and also side-by-side behind them for position between the 48 and the 81. Bell back to the inside of Mayer, trying to get that short run fire off speed even on the older tires. Mayer leads this first lap following the restart. 9 laps left in stage 1. Bell into turns 1 and 2 on the bottom of the racetrack. Mayer continues on the top, and Mayer will hold clear again off of the exit of turn 2. Restart's under review, and I wonder if it's for Sheldon Creed. Did he move out of line to the outside of Mayer before he got to the start-finish line? If he did, it might be a restart violation for the 18 of Creed. Again, it is under review by NASCAR. Continuing green for right now, 8 laps left, stage 1. Creed's got to be hoping that he doesn't get this penalty. He's running in 3rd right now. He still doesn't have a win this season, although he is fairly comfortable ahead of the cutoff line on points. You just never know what could happen. Tough to put yourself a potential lap down before the end of this first stage if he does have to make a pass-through penalty run down. Bell doing all he can to try to keep up with Sam Mayer at the front of the field. He's still only 0.4 of a second back. 7 laps left in stage 1. Gaggle of cars in the back half of the top 10 battling for 8th. Sammy Smith, Brandon Jones, Justin Allgaier, Cole Custer, 3 of the 4 Junior Motorsport Chevys. Kloppel up to 21st on the restart now, which would be the 4th of the JRM Chevrolets. 3 wide. 26-7 in the 9. No way 26 is going to be able to clear everybody. No, he does not. He cleared the 7, but then the 7 crosses him over back to the bottom, cutting 3 wide on the front stretch, and now Allgaier is going to be able to slide up in front of both the 00, and the 27 Mayer goes around. Sam Mayer's got a problem. He's down on the apron of the track. He spins going into turn 1. Looks like the left rear tire's flat on the 1. The race leader has a problem. Sam Mayer spins from the lead, and we stay green as his left rear's flat. He's going to have to limp it all the way back to pit road. Christopher Bell consumes the race lead. Austin Hill now to second. And A.J. Allmendinger in third. Showing a replay here. Mayer got up against the wall, getting into turns 3 and 4. Bell passed him for the lead then. And then as Mayer got down into turn 1, he spun out on the apron of the racetrack. And this is going to drop the race leader off the lead lap. Tough break here for Sam Mayer. A lot of heavy hitters having problems in the early going. Stage 1 alone. Logano blows an engine. Mayer flat tire while leading. Riley Herbst pancaked the wall pretty hard, along with Anthony Alfredo, who ended up all having right sides flat as a result of hitting the wall as hard as they did during their green flag runs between cautions 1 and 2. 3 to go now in stage number 1. Bell still got about a half a second lead over Austin Hill. Remember, the 20 car is in the owners' playoffs and racking up wins this season. Again, 6 wins for the 20 car this year. In the playoff era, we haven't seen the owner and the driver champion be different. Maybe that could be a different stat here for 2024 for the Xfinity Series. This 20 team trying to rack up yet another playoff point if they can secure this stage win. Qualifying on the pole, huge for that, but even after losing the lead, they stayed in second. Right place at the right time with the Mayer incident. Still going to have to hold off Austin Hill, though. And Hill, who is locked into the Xfinity playoff field, also looking for another point. Hill backs the entry up to turns 1 and 2. Looks like through the middle of the corner, Bell's a little bit looser than Hill. Hill holding a little bit more of a steady wheel. Really see the back of the 20 car yawed out quite a bit. Bottom of the racetrack this time, you can still see the 20 turning right to go left on the bottom of the racetrack. Hill to the top. Hill actually lost time to Bell that last lap overall. Bell was about a 10th quicker. Final lap of the stage. Now Hill's going to try to diamond cut the corner off. He entered a lot lower than the 20. The 20 up near the wall. And great rotation through the center again by Hill. Hill got really loose, though, off turn 2. And he'll sail it off to the bottom of the track and try to diamond the corner into 3 and 4 again. Bell slides the rear tires. Caution behind him, though. Caution flag is out. Brandon Jones spins into the inside wall off of turn 2. And he's got a flat left rear tire as well. Christopher Bell under caution will win stage 1. And quite a bit of damage to the left side of Brandon Jones's race car after a slide off turn 2. Jones and Chandler Smith were battling for position. It looked like Shane Van Gisbergen just got into the back of the 9. It was side by side, and then on the back straightaway, 97 just ran right into the back of Brandon Jones. And Jones goes spinning to the inside wall. Kind of pancaked the driver's side door first. Not super hard, but definitely enough to cut the left rear tire with the damage around the left rear fender. Hill sailed it off deep into 3 and 4. You could really tell Bell was struggling on the longer run. It was going to be interesting to see who was going to win stage 1 if it had stayed green, but the caution came out with Bell in the lead. So again, Christopher Bell wins stage 1 here at Darlington. Austin Hill second, A.J. Allmendinger third, Parker Kligerman fourth, Sheldon Creed fifth, Sam Smith sixth, Justin Allgaier seventh, Chad Fincham eighth, Cole Custer ninth, and Chandler Smith 10th. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Fincham pitted for tires during that last caution, which is why he drove up into the top 10. That battle, by the way, between Brandon Jones and Chandler Smith was for 10th. And for that final stage point, again, there was no contact between the 81 and the 9, but it was the 97 of Van Gisbergen who, off the exit of turn 2, got in the back of the 9 car, which sent him down to the inside of the track. So it's our third caution of the day, all for incident, but this bleeds into the end of stage 1 as they were about to finish the final lap under green in the stage before the yellow waved. And we'll definitely see our first pit stops of the race this time around as we didn't before. I didn't realize the chat poll wasn't up. That's weird. Oh, it was. I didn't see it. I didn't mean to end it. My bad. I didn't mean to end the poll. There was 0 votes on my end, so I thought it wasn't showing for you guys. I'll get the poll back up again. I usually leave it open till the end of stage 2. I'll leave it open a little bit longer. I'll leave it open until we get to 50. I'll leave it open for a little longer today. I don't know exactly how long yet. The final stage is only 57 laps, so probably leave it open till like 20, 30 to go, somewhere around there. Get more votes. I don't know why it was showing 0 votes on my end, so I was going to try to end it and put the new one up, and then I didn't realize when I hit end, then it said I had 26 votes already. But I wasn't able to see any of that for some reason. I'll keep the same voting options as well. Pit road is open for the meantime.
On the pit road, all led by a 20 of Christopher Bell. Dave.
Parker Klingerman finished 4th in that stage, 7 stage points. He started 10th, so good forward movement for him. The car quick, actually very loose. He said, I killed the right rear. There will be air pressure and chassis.
Stage 1 was over with absolutely terrible handling at the end of that stage on the 16 car. Going to take a big swing at it. He also had a little contact with the wall towards the end of that stage. Austin Hill had maybe the best long run car. He said, I'm just giving up too much across the middle compared to the 20 of Christopher Bell, who said, quote, I am hanging literally inside the car, so loose on exit. They also take a massive swing at it, and the 20 will easily hold.
For everybody, no surprise there. 3 positions lost for Austin Hill. Usually, that 21 team seems to be one of the best pit crews in the Xfinity series on a weekend basis, but losing a few spots on their opening stop right now. 3 spots gained, though, for Sheldon Creed as he jumps back up to 2nd. He was the biggest mover of those in the top 10 with the 4-tire stop. Jerry Marty, thanks for tuning in as well. Was up at the start. Went back to all. Talking about the poll. The chat poll. I could see the votes on the chat poll now. But I couldn't before. When I hit end, that's where I got like all the stats with the 26 votes, and it looked like it was a pretty even poll between the 4 voting options for the most part. I hate that I had to end it. But now I'm seeing them on this poll this time. So if you voted before, be sure to vote again. So we can still get that consensus. And usually I close them at the end of stage 2, but I'll leave them open a little longer because we're probably going to have less votes now with ending it a little early. I don't know why that happened the way it did. That was weird. I've never had that happen before. 45 car Garrett Smithley appears to have stayed out of the pits. Might have used a set of tires already. I'm not entirely sure. Or maybe he took the wave around. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. I don't think anybody was a lap down. Oh, no, we had a couple cars a lap down. So 9, lap 29, lap 30. The debris was in 3 and 4. And Jeremy Clements had gotten the free pass in the 51. So Clements must have had a flat tire and had to come to pit road. but he was the first car lap down, so he's back on the lead lap. And then Greg Van Alst in the 07 was a lap down as well. And he got the free pass during this incident with the 9 of Brandon Jones. So 32 cars are back on the lead lap. Sam Mayer, Anthony Alfredo are 2 laps down in 33rd, 34th. Riley Herbst is 12 laps down, but I believe he is still in the race, following his hard contact with the wall earlier in the stage. And Blaine Perkins, I believe, is still on the racetrack or back on the racetrack, but 16 laps down, as he had a mechanical issue off the start. Of course, Parker Rutzlaff back in this one. So I think the only driver actually out of the race with his engine failure is Joey Logano, who will finish last in 38th. The way this is looking. Field is doubled up. We'll get a restart this time by, again, 45 laps in Stage 2, just like we had in Stage 1. Final stage, 57 laps. Fuel window-wise, they don't have to pit during green flag action. It'll be interesting to see, again, the way the cautions lay out. I believe each of these teams still have 2 sets of tires left the rest of the way. Everybody wanting to save a set, it appears, in this short 200-mile sprint of an Xfinity Series race. Lap 52 restart. Nope, they're going to add a lap of caution. Pace car looked to have been pulling down onto pit road. They'll get the one to go signal this time by again. So maybe still had safety crews on pit road. Maybe on the backstretch where the incident took place, there might have been still sweeping up some debris. Whatever the case is, another lap added here to caution. So they'll restart this time by, just like we had on the initial start in the first restart of the day, it'll be Christopher Bell and Sheldon Creed on the front row. And I would imagine Bell's going to be down on the bottom of the racetrack again. Yep, he is. Bell on the bottom, Creed on the outside. Now, Sam Mayer, when he was up there, he took the outside, and it worked for him. I will say Bell was side by side with him for a longer period of time through the middle of 1 and 2. The only risk with restarting on the bottom is you have to be clear in the middle of 1 and 2 of the car to your outside, or at that point you're going to be put in a predicament where you're more than likely going to end up losing the lead down the back stretch, or maybe off turn 4 that following time if you stay door to door again through the next corner. Parker Kligerman up inside the top 4 positions on the racetrack as well. Good start to the race here today for him. Finished a close second at Daytona a week ago as Parker. Green flag back in the air for Christopher Bell, the Stage 1 winner. Good launch on the outside of row 1 there for Sheldon Creed. 16 pushes the 20 off into turn 1 with a bump draft. But the 18 is going to hold to the outside of the 20. Again, a great restart here by Sheldon Creed. Creed clear, barely, off turn 2. And Allmendinger going for second on Bell into 3 and 4. Cuts to the bottom of the racetrack. AJ drives it in deep. 20 of Bell up around the outside of the racetrack. Car against the wall in the middle of 1 and 2, 3 and 4 rather. Caution out again, and it's Kyle Weatherman in the 91. So Weatherman in the 91 has pancaked the wall and immediately brings his car to pit road. Caution flag for the 4th time already today. Lap 54 yellow. A lot of cautions in this one. 4 of them in the first 53, 54 laps of this race. Good thing it's a short race, so it's not really going to prolong things extra long anyway. Looked like he just kind of got up into the wall all on his own. Either the right front tire went flat or he had some sort of a mechanical failure, because that car went straight up the racetrack in the middle of 3 and 4 from about the middle groove to the wall and pancaked it very hard. I mean, the right front was flat after the contact with the wall. Not sure if it was before that or not. Definitely some bent parts and pieces there to the 91 of Kyle Weatherman. That'll give a free pass to Sam Mayer, I do believe. Either Mayer or Alfredo. It looked like Alfredo was scored ahead of him. So Anthony Alfredo will get the lap back, not Sam Mayer. That's not good for Sam Mayer. Because Alfredo goes from 2 laps down to 1 lap down, so that means that Mayer's probably not going to get the free pass the next time as well. So Sam's going to need a couple more cautions to get back into this. We're guaranteed at least one more with the stage 2 yellow. So essentially what Sam Mayer is going to want, he's going to want at least one more caution in the second stage before the stage caution. So that way Alfredo could get his lap back with the next yellow. And then at the end of the stage, or he could take the risk and try to pit for 4 fresh tires during the next caution, try to unlap himself, then get the free pass. I mean, that's a strategy that could be at play as well. Although I don't think he could do that because I think he put on a fresh set of tires when he had to make the unscheduled stop back at stage 1. When he had the flat left rear, he probably just changed 4. So I guess he wouldn't be able to do that. Yeah, he's basically going to be behind the rest of this race. Once you go to 2 laps down, it's very difficult to get back on the lead lap. Very rarely see it happen. Even with as few of cars and as many cautions, as few cars off the lead lap and as many cautions as we have seen today, it just goes to show how hard it is. So Sheldon Creed got to the lead on the restart. And then the caution came out in 3 and 4 before he was able to lead a green flag lap. But he is leading his first laps of the race under caution. Creed is now the 3rd different driver to lead today. And we've had 4 lead changes so far. Bell's led 2 different times for 42 laps. Kyle Weatherman has finally got his car into his pit box. Right front tire was basically inside out on the race car when he ended up getting back onto pit road.
Be some sort of either mechanical or tire issue. The big hits, and now when you have these incidents, every time you get a right front vibration, starting to feel something not right, you can't help but think there's something wrong. And you get a little bit nervous as you approach these corners. This thing's hurt.
91 behind the wall and back to the truck.
I might have stepped this yellow just for another lap and see how quickly we're able to get this thing hooked up. Kyle there. Catching his breath on a hot day.
Frustrated, I'm sure.
Well, just not only the impact to him and potential injuries, but also if you think about that, that's 2 large impacts for a smaller team. And that can really set a race team back because that Michigan car, if it ever runs again, I'd be surprised. And this car also a big damage. So it just makes it difficult, Steve, to have the equipment you need for the next week.
Jeff Burke, we're talking about the heat, the Celsius on board, giving us a look back at the driver here.
Jeff does some trainings.
Getting ready for the restart once again. 20's on the inside. Christopher Bell, Sheldon Creed, and that 18 on the outside of row 1 as they come back from the restart zone. as they go into turn 3. Mentioned the heat, 93 degrees, track temperature 128.
Oof.
How about that corner entry speed by Christopher Bell? That was a purpose to roll that much speed in clear green.
You look far out of line, and then you see Chase Elliott and the 17 jump out of line.
See, when you run the bottom, you really have to ask a lot of your car. If you cannot make the pass, that outside is so much momentum.
So much momentum, and really, I just save a little bit of tire. I think when you go to the bottom, you ask a lot of your car, you ask a lot of the tires with 31 laps to go in this stage. I just think these, passes or attempted passes by that 17 just continues to wear the tires down, take a little bit of life out of them, but it's the only way to move forward. You kind of have to take advantage if you can. Now the 97 of SVG. See him roll out of the gas a little bit there. He's going to chase the 17 through 1 and 2.
This should be a good learning time for Van Gisbergen as we see Love look to the inside of Heim.
I could know what Briggs did right there. He stayed at the top in that black 30, and he's going to try to roll to the right rear of Love, see if he can get that position as Love is man, fills the hole last minute. Noah with the crossover.
Now does he dive into one a little deeper and try to slide up the racetrack? He's going to stay low, and will he clear him? He does.
That was really well done by Noah. That's kind of like not a complete slide job, but that's a slide pause, and he made the 2 wonder if he was coming all the way up, and then clears him. Really well done.
There's Chase Elliott, the 17, trying to get by the 2 also.
Talk a lot about Cup drivers and Christopher Bell leading this race, but he's having a good day, but 17 of Chase Elliott really not. I think it's a disadvantage now for these Cup drivers, although they're great race car drivers, Dave. The Cup cars are so different from these cars. They have a lot of ground to make up when they come into this series.
And Jeff, when I talked to Greg Ives, the crew chief on the 17, about Chase running here, it's a matter of always wanting to run this 17 for Mr. Hendrick. Chase enjoys that. But Greg said it was kind of cool, too, that they're kind of historic together. 10 years ago, they ran together in an Xfinity race here. And that was when he was full-time. So 2014 to 2024, why not celebrate a 10-year anniversary? They'd like to do it closer to the top 10, Marty.
Ginsbergen trying to check down Chase Elliott, and I had a pressing conversation with him about how tough the Ovals have been and how different Jackson is than anything he's seen in his entire career. But Jeff, he made a very interesting point to me. He said, this is the first intermediate I'm coming back to for a second time, and that's when I expect my results to pick up and myself to get better. I expect more out of myself when I come to a racetrack for a second time. So you were a rookie once upon a time, Jeff. Is that what you found the second time? That you expected a little bit more out of yourself?
Well, I did expect more, but I didn't always perform better. Sometimes I felt like, okay, I learned all this stuff, and I went there the next time thinking I knew too much rather than recognizing I still had a lot to learn. But I will say, SVG running 14th, I think this is an advancement. I see him with good pace. I saw it also, and so far, there's no question this is an improvement.
Jeff, when you were a rookie, you had practice time. I mean, these guys, it's so brief. We heard, Christopher Bell mentioned 15 laps or 15 minutes was not enough. It's like one run, really, and just can't learn enough in that short of time. And that's what SVG is faced with, trying to learn these cars, these tracks, with a very limited amount of time.
I also think as much out of rookies today, they expect you to perform much quicker.
We got 14 on pit road now. So Chad Fincham, as quickly as he gained and got up into the top 10 at the end of stage 1, he is back on pit road.
This is for sure unscheduled. Must have some sort of issue. Talking about a vibration on the radio of the 14. I have to bring it to the service of his crew. 8, Sammy Smith. 4th, right behind him, 7 of Allgaier.
Strong day from Sammy Smith. Starting in 4th place here, fastest car on the racetrack that lap.
Ryan Sieg right now being scored in 15th. The reason I bring that up is Sieg was ahead of Sammy Smith in the point standings, the playoff standings coming into this race. And now we see Smith has leapfrogged Ryan Sieg and has an 8-point advantage. Kim?
And both of those teams, Sammy Smith's team and Ryan Sieg's, when I checked in with them this morning, said we will be paying attention to what the other team did. Great job running the 4th position right now. I asked kind of where they started with their setup this weekend. They said our teammate Justin Allgaier had such a good car in the spring, dominated the race. So we are very close to what that setup was in the spring for the 7 car. They know what worked for Justin. They made some slight adjustments for Sammy. It is working here this afternoon. Right now, just struggling a little with front and rear grip here at Darlington.
Expectations are high. Junior Motorsports has won 5 of the last 7 races here. And right now, they've got Sammy Smith and Allgaier both top 5. Reputation.
Commercial break as of right now on the USA Network. Full flag-to-flag coverage of this NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Darlington continues. We'll go through the full field running order. As of right now, Christopher Bell is out ahead of Sheldon Creed by 9/10 of a second. Make that 8/10 of a second. It looked like Creed picked up a 10th that last lap on the race leader. In 3rd place is A.J. Allmendinger. Sammy Smith is 4th. Justin Allgaier 5th. Austin Hill 6th. Parker Kligerman is 7th. Cole Custer 8th. Chandler Smith 9th. Noah Corey Heim 12th. Chase Elliott 13th. Shane Van Gisbergen 14th. 15th. Ryan Sieg. Josh Williams 16th. Ross Chastain 17th. 18th. Carson Kvapil. Jeb Burton 19th. And Matt DiBenedetto is 20th. Joe Graff Jr. 21st. Brendan Poole 22nd. Kyle Sieg 23rd. Ryan Ellis 24th. Leland Honeyman 25th. David Starr 26th. Greg Van Ulst 27th. Garrett Smithley, last car in the lead lap, 28th. Anthony Alfredo is still a lap down in 29th. Sam Mayer 30th, 2 laps down. Jeremy Clements 3 laps down in 31st. Brandon Jones 3 laps down 32nd. Chad Fincham off track 33rd. Riley Herb 16 laps down in 34th. Blaine Perkins 17 laps down 35th. Kyle Weatherman 36th is 19 laps down off track. Following his incident, he's actually out of the race now. Parker Retzlaff still on the track, 26 laps down in 37th, and Joey Logano had an engine failure at lap 12. He is out of the race. He'll finish last in 38th. That is the full field running order. Christopher Bell is now led 59 of the 74 laps ran so far in today's race. 5 laps led for Sheldon Creed, all during yellow, and 11 laps led under green flag conditions only for Sam Mayer before he had the flat left retired towards the end of Stage 1. Christopher Bell won Stage 1 as a result of that, and currently leading here in Stage 2 with 17 laps left in the second stage. You're listening live on KRC to the Sports Clip Haircuts VFW Help a Hero 200 at Darlington for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Bailey Kramer, thanks for tuning into the stream. See you in the chat. Appreciate everybody tuning in here this afternoon for this Xfinity Series race coverage. Lap 75 of 147 in this one overall, just past halfway. Sammy Smith and Justin Allgaier battling for 4th as they continue to move forward for Junior Motorsports through the field. Sammy Smith came into this race 15 points below Ryan Sieg for the final playoff spot. This is not the final race of the regular season for the Xfinity Series. It is for the Cup Series this weekend. Xfinity Series still has 3 more regular season races after this. Atlanta, Watkins Glen, and of Corey Heim as they battle for 12th on the racetrack. And a few other cars closing in just behind them of Ryan Sieg and Shane Van Gisbergen as well. SVG with a big run up off the exit of the corner. That slide job by Elliott pulling up in front of the 26 of Heim allows for Van Gisbergen to try to make a pass of his own to the inside. Oh, Bell might have had a problem off turn 2. Because all of a sudden, Sheldon Creed is to the outside of the 20. And to the lead goes Sheldon Creed now off turn 4. Showing a replay here, the 20 car, he just got into the side of the 07. So he went from the top to the bottom of the racetrack, and he could have just stayed to the outside, I would imagine. That was on the outside through turns 1 and 2. The 07 car, which was Greg Van Alst, was running the low line. And as he was coming up off the exit contact, and then as a result, Bell ended up down on the bottom of the racetrack on the apron of the back straight, while the 18 of Creed takes the lead.
But yeah, just as you can see, something broke right there, and couldn't do anything about it. I mean, we had a couple adjustments made. I felt like we were going to be hopefully as fast as Xfinity Internet after those changes, but we didn't get to see if they were. So we'll go on to the next one.
Glad you're okay.
Thanks.
And Marty, Kyle celebrated his 27th birthday on Wednesday, said this was not the birthday present he wanted this week.
Certainly not, Kim. Meanwhile, AJ Allmendinger has gotten his car much better handling-wise, but now there's another issue with a 16. Listen in.
I got 12 problems in the cockpit. I don't know what from. No more oily. All the cages look okay. I can't tell what it is.
So Steve, the team told him, don't worry about it, keep going, but they seem pretty casual for smoke in the cockpit. I don't know, why are they not so worried about that here, Darlington?
Because there's nothing you can do. If it's something catastrophic, it's going to fail and your day's going to be over. You hope it's just a small oil leak. I would have thought it was tire rubber on the exhaust burning. Sometimes you'll see some smoke in the cockpit. He said it smells oily, which is not shocking. Maybe they have a small oil leak under the hood that's also landing on the header, but you know, the relaxed look of Alex Yance is because he knows he's not going to stop and open the hood running third and check on it. So, Jeff, it's either going to be nothing, and you'll find it at the shop on Monday, or it's going to be something really bad, and you're not going to run the whole distance. But there's just, unfortunately, at this point, nothing you can do.
Yeah, AJ only a second off the lead and actually battling Christopher Bell for that second place position at the time we speak. That interview that I cut to the middle of was Kyle Weatherman outside the infield care center following his hit into the wall, which brought out the most recent yellow at the beginning of stage 2. Caught the back half of that. So Sheldon Creed leads. Can he win his first career race here this weekend? He came close to actually winning this very Darlington race in the fall with Richard Childress racing in his rookie season in 2022. Him and Kyle Larson putting a heck of a battle up on the final closing laps of the race. Creed tried at the time what was the video game move before the video game move that Ross Chastain had pulled off in success at Martinsville to get into the Championship 4 later that season. It's the same move that Kyle Larson actually had tried in the Southern 500 in 2021 on Denny Hamlin on the final lap for the win there. But yeah, it didn't work for Hamlin that day. It doesn't work at Darlington, apparently. And Sheldon Creed came up a close second place that day, as he's done so many times through his Xfinity career. Double-digit second place finishes already. Got a little loose off turn 2. Lost some time to Christopher Bell. 6 laps to go, this time by in stage 2. And Bell within a half a second of the lead again. 16 car getting a Darlington stripe. Got up close behind the 20 of Bell in the dirty air, and the nose shoved just a little bit, and there wasn't any room for error already being on the outside, so Allmendinger did graze the wall a couple laps ago. Showed a replay of that on USA Network moments ago. Noah Gregson's cracked the top 10 for the first time today, just past Jesse Love for 10th place. Again, Noah started in 30th. Still the biggest mover from the start of the race to where we're at right now. 26 cars on the lead lap, by the way. So Anthony Alfredo, who had gotten the free pass during the last caution, is no longer the free pass car as of right now, as he tries to catch Garrett Smithley for that spot. Alfredo's passed a couple of the cars who are lap down, but has not caught Smithley yet. And even after that, David Starr about to go lap down at the hands of Sheldon Creed next. probably before the end of this next stage, as we have 4 to go still in stage 2. Start within a couple seconds ahead of the race leader. Bell is definitely mad loose the longer the run goes. He was struggling just to try to keep control of his car at the end of stage 1, and we're seeing that again here in stage 2. The contact he had with Van Alsop turn 2 in the middle going to the run probably didn't help, having that big slide to the bottom of the track. That probably only burnt the rear tires off it even more. Final stage a little longer than stages 2 and 3, so it's going to be interesting to see if Bell can keep his track position with fast pit stops, if he's going to be able to still contend for the win at the end of things here today. Sammy Smith and Justin Allgaier going back and forth for 4th on the leaderboard yet again. Cole Custer is up to 6th, passing Austin Hill recently as well. It's as high as Custer's been in the running order today. And Sammy Smith putting a nice gap over Allgaier. It's amazing how hard Justin just drove the entry into 3 that time. Trying to pick some time back up on Sammy Smith. Smith more patient, rides the outside, and he'll carry more straightaway speed down the front now. 2 laps to go, stage 2. Still a 9/10 of a second lead for Sheldon Creed over Christopher Bell. Don't think Bell's going to be able to catch Creed here. David Starr still on the lead lap for now. Alfredo has not yet caught Smithley. Final lap of the stage. And now David Starr did go a lap down. Just finally lost his lap. Almost allowed for Christopher Bell to run down Sheldon Creed on the final lap, too. Creed took an awfully long time trying to get by the 35 car. But he holds on. He had a big enough of a gap over Bell before that. So Sheldon Creed's going to go on to win stage 2 at Darlington. Christopher Bell 2nd, AJ Allmendinger 3rd, Sammy Smith 4th, and Justin Allgaier 5th. 6th for Cole Custer, Austin Hill 7th, Parker Kligerman 8th, Noah Gregson 9th, and Chase Elliott by a nose gets the final stage point over Chandler Smith for 10th. So that is the top 10 and the drivers receiving stage points through stage 2 here tonight at the Darlington Raceway. I should say this afternoon at the Darlington Raceway. Caution of the race total. It's our first caution for a non-incident in the race, as stage 1 ended under caution from the Brandon Jones spin. 61 laps led in the race. 3 different times Christopher Bell has led. Twice now Sheldon Creed has led. His first green flag laps were at the end of the stage en route to a stage 2 win. Sam Mayer led 11 laps all back in stage 1. And as for Sheldon Creed, this is the first stage win of the season for Creed. So again, he's one of the 4 drivers above the cutoff line on points coming into this race today, and he's got a pretty healthy lead over the gap for the final transfer spot. Adds 10 more points with this stage win right here. I think he was second in stage 1. So 19 stage points today for Sheldon Creed, most of any driver. We'll be seeing our second pit stops of the race here shortly. Take a quick break before that. Again, you're listening live on KRC to the NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Darlington. I'll leave the chat poll open even though we're at the end of stage 2 right now. I accidentally closed the original one out, thinking that there was a glitch because I couldn't see any of the votes. So I was thinking it was invisible for you guys. So I'll leave that chat poll open a little longer. Still a tight poll once again. It's actually tied at the moment between the 2 top spots. I'll continue to leave that chat poll open until 20 laps to go in the race, and then we'll close it off. So we'll leave it open for about 35 more laps. And we'll do our Stage 2 diecast showing as soon as we get these next round of pit stops out of the way first. Ended up getting two 124 scale diecasts at the Michigan International Speedway last weekend to add to the collection, so I'll show those off between today and tomorrow's stream.
And Kim.
You'll see top left, Sammy Smith. He said it started off neutral, held on longer that run, still tight at the end. And then 4 fresh Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel, Sheldon Creed, top right. Sheldon said, I started off good, a little snug on the short run through the middle of the run, then got neutral, free and clean air, though, asked for more right rear stability, Marty.
AJ Allmendinger said the car is better, and we can beat them if you give me more turn at the end of the run. You see the crew member giving AJ some ice cold water, which he requested. Christopher Bell said the car's much better that run. I still need a little bit more help on exit. Still too free. Bell asked for a couple of bags of ice. You can just tell these drivers roasting inside the race car. Meanwhile, the race off pit road, Sheldon Creed, how about his team? They're able to keep the lead after the grounded stops, Rick.
Great rebound for Austin Hill's pit stop as well. First stop, they lost 3 spots. They gained 4 here. That'll move them up to 3rd. AJ lost 1. Chase Elliott up 5 positions. He's now in 5th. And a very slow stop for the 8 team of Sammy Smith. 16.8 second Ford tire pit stop. That drops him from 4th outside of the top 10 when we get to this next restarter. Back to 10th, it looks like, is where Sammy Smith cycled. So he lost 6 positions on pit road. And I believe Chandler Smith gained 3 positions in the pits as well, jumping from 10th to 7th. 4 positions, excuse me. 4 positions gained from 11th to 7th. For Chandler Smith, because he was just outside the top 10 behind Elliott at the end of the last stage. Carson Kvapil up to 14th, slowly moving through the field as well. SVG remains in the top dozen. So Sheldon Creed still going to be the leader after winning Stage 2. Here is our Stage 2 diecast showing for today. Already a little bit of damage to this diecast, unfortunately. I had bought this diecast at Michigan International Speedway last week. I was excited when I saw it because it's a Dave Blaney. Those of you that don't know, Ryan Blaney, my favorite driver, grew up watching his uncle Dale race sprint cars. So big. I'm not sure exactly what season this is from. I think it might be 2000, and that is because it's a Dodge. Or actually, it might be 2001 because it's a Dodge, now that I think about it. That was their first year back in NASCAR. So I'm going to go with 2001. You'll have to let me know in the chat if it might have been a different year. There's the Amoco paint scheme. Really slick looking card. I was excited when I saw this because I had never really seen in my ventures of getting diecast at racetracks an Amoco Dave Blaney diecast in a 124 scale. I've only seen 164. Well, it was... Here's the left front tire. I bought it broken and didn't realize it was broken. The left front tire was just kind of rolling around in the case. It was a clear case that I had bought it in. And it was sitting like this, you know, face around when I bought it. If I knew that the tire was not connected to the car, I wouldn't have bought it. Now, could I super glue it back together? Yes. But if I do that and it rolls around in the case, it's not going to want to roll around. And it's probably just going to continue to pop on and off on me. So when I do go to put it in the case, I'm just going to put it in like this because it should stay at least. Because it stayed when it was in the case, but it was one of those things I opened it, took it out of the case, and the tire just kind of rolled away on me. So I really wish I would have got my money back for it, but I didn't realize it until I got all the way back out to the vehicle that day. And it's unfortunate, but still like the paint scheme, still like the car, still have it. And it'll be sitting with the rest of the Blaney ones. Broken toe link. If it was a next-gen diecast, we could totally go with that. Broken toe link. That's great. Gonna be on there. Now, the next one I bought, even though I'm a Blaney fan, the next one I bought was a diecast I had been looking for a while and finally found it when I was at Michigan. I had to buy it last weekend. That will be tomorrow's diecast showing at the end of Stage 2 during the Southern 500. And I can't wait to show that one off because that's going to be, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Love it. And definitely, it's definitely a classic for sure. classic within the last, just over a decade, but I'd still consider it a classic. Especially the ramifications around the importance of that diecast when it comes to a championship run. So here we go. Green flag is going to be back in the air. Sheldon Creed outside of row 1 for the restart. Christopher Bell in the 20 car this weekend down on the bottom of the racetrack, trying to take the lead away from Sheldon Creed, not John Hunter Nemechek. Bell was able to slide out in front of him through 3 and 4 on the last restart. A little contact between the two cars in the center of 1 and 2 here. Door to door into 3 and 4 again. Who will win the battle, the 20 or the 18? The 20 is going to jump out ahead again. And by a lot, too. Creed trying to hang on for second. Bell leads at Darlington. 0.7 of a second ahead. Hill trying to hold on for third with Allmendinger and Custer hot on his heels. As the 00 and the 16 were side by side. 16 almost squeezed Custer into the wall off turn 2. Working lap 99 at the start-finish line now. And Custer did win that battle for that spot. And if Allmendinger doesn't get to the outside, Justin Allgaier's maybe going to have a chance to get by the 16 car as well. Problem is that the 7's trapped. He's right on the back bumper of the 00, and the 16 is still on his inside. But not being on that top lane alone is enough that Allmendinger lost a couple positions after trying to go for a failed pass attempt on Austin Hill for third initially on the restart. He now falls well over a second back beyond that in the interval game behind Hill and loses 2 more positions to go along with it. Battle in the top 10 as well. Chandler Smith, Parker Kligerman, Shane Van Gisbergen. That's a battle for 9th on the track between those 3 cars. As the 81 and the 48 continue to slingshot each other back and forth. Jesse Love also in that battle in the 2. For RCR, Carson Kvapil just behind them. Love to the inside of Van Gisbergen through 3 and 4. SVG holds on to 11. On the front stretch, carrying the momentum from the outside of the racetrack. 46 laps left this time by. A 1.5 second lead for Christopher Bell. Make that a 2-second lead over Austin Hill. I think Creed has got a problem here. That he ended up losing a lot of time that last lap. So Austin Hill jumps into second. I hadn't seen it on my screen. But Creed definitely lost a spot. And very quickly at that. He was over 0.5 second ahead of play. On the USA Network, they're currently locked into a battle for position between Jesse Love and Shane Van Gisbergen for 11th. SVG loses that spot and now maybe going to lose 12th to Carson Kvapil as well. Kvapil on the bottom of the racetrack, not clear of the 97. Yeah, I'm waiting to see what happened to Sheldon Creed. I would imagine he probably got against the wall because he was 1.5 seconds off the lead. He was 0.7 of a second slower on the lap. Austin Hill had passed him for second. So now Hill is 2.2 seconds back. That's a good spot to be in, though, because Christopher Bell has struggled when we get into the back half of a run all day today, and he's lost the lead. Well, he barely held on at the end of stage 1. And stage 2, he lost the lead to Creed. And here he is at this point. It looks like there was debris on the grill of the 18 to Creed, by the way. So debris on the grill of the 18, potential overheating issue. As a result of the debris on the grill, he had to drop in line behind Austin Hill. to get it to blow off. And now he's just kind of stuck behind Hill in third place. And these two are over 2.5 seconds off the race leader. Bell was 0.3 of a second quicker than Hill and Creed that last lap. But by running as quick as he is right now, if we stay green to the end of the race, he's not going to be that quick in the back half of the run. Maybe he's just pushing hard now, hoping for a caution. Everybody has one set of tires left remaining, so if we get a yellow, I'd imagine everybody will pit for tires. We have not had a caution-free stage today, and this one is the longest of the race by 12 laps compared to stages 1 and 2. So we'll see. We've got a commercial break. We'll go through the full field running order with 41 laps to go. Again, Christopher Bell leads, Austin Hill second, Sheldon Creed third, Cole Custer fourth, Justin Allgaier is fifth, A.J. Allmendinger in 6th, Sammy Smith 7th, Chase Elliott 8th, Parker Kligerman in 9th, and 10th is Chandler Smith, Jesse Love 11th, Shane Van Gisbergen in 12th, Carson Kvapil 13th, Ross Chastain 14th, Ryan Sieg 15th, Josh Williams 16th, make that Joe Graff Jr. now 16th, Josh Williams 17th as he just got passed for that spot. Corey Heim is in 18th, Noah Gregson 19th, and Kyle Sieg 20th. Brandon Poole 21st, Matt DiBenedetto 22nd, Jeb Burt 23rd, Ryan Ellis 24th, Leland Honeyman 25th, David Starr 26th is the last car in the lead lap. Anthony Alfredo first car lap down in 27th. Greg Van Alst 28th, Sam Mayer 29th. I believe he's still 2 laps down. Garrett Smithley in 30th, Jeremy Clements 31st, Brandon Jones 4 laps down 32nd. Chad Fincham 9 laps down 33rd. 18 laps down for Blaine Perkins and Riley Herbst 34th, 35th. Parker Retzlaff 25 laps down 36. Only 2 cars out of the race right now. Kyle Weatherman 37th, Joey Logano engine failure at lap 12. On lap 38th place, for Logano. 75 laps led, make that 76 and counting now for the pole sitter Christopher Bell, who won stage 1. Sheldon Creed, stage 2 winner. It's led for 24 laps. A lot of the lead changes today between Bell and Creed. And then one for Sam Mayer. He was the first initial lead change at the start of the race. 3 different times Creed has led. 5 different times that the 20 team has led today. So 3 different drivers have led at least 1 lap. And we have had 8 lead changes so far. Looks like the 26 car of Corey Heim is slow on the racetrack, and he'll be making a pit stop unscheduled here early going to this green flag run in stage 3. Got a donut on the left side of the race car, but I think it might be a right side tire that's going flat, because the left sides look like they're up. Hard to tell for sure. But unfortunately, Heim is down on the pit road. He was running right around 12th, 13th, 14th place, somewhere around there. Christopher Bell has grown his lead out to 3.8 seconds. Battle for second place once again on the racetrack, as Creed and Hill battle for that spot. Both within a couple tenths of a second of each other now. And you can definitely see the scuffage on the right side of Heim's race car, so he definitely got up against the wall. Not the first one, probably won't be the last, as we still have 34 laps remaining here at the Darlington Raceway. Hill still holding on for second place at the moment. Nope, not anymore. Creed up to second. Clear off turn 2. Sheldon Creed, second place. Austin Hill going to try the crossover through 3 and 4 on the bottom of the track, but he's not going to be able to pull anywhere alongside. Looks like there's some trash on the grill of the 21 of Hill. And he couldn't get within a half a second of Austin Hill. Hill may have to drop behind him to get the debris off the grill of his race car now. So here in stage 3, a little debris on the grill of whoever's been in second the last couple times. First Creed, now Hill. Custer going to get by Hill. And let's see if Hill gets the debris to blow off on the 00. They're really side by side at the line. Custer hasn't completed the pass yet. Now the pass is complete. Problem is Hill's not close enough to the back bumper of the cars in front of him to get the turbulence to blow the trash off the grill. Because Custer just made the pass, and again, the trash is still stuck on the front of the 21. And now Justin Allgaier's going to pass Austin Hill for a spot. Now he's close enough behind the back bumper of the 7. And the debris finally blows off, but Hill had to fall all the way back to 5th place first. And here comes Allmendinger now for that 5th spot. AJ looking to the inside of Austin Hill for that position. Off of turn 2, side by side. Hill a little loose off the exit of the corner. Slide job incoming through 3 and 4 for Allmendinger. Clear. 21 not going to be able to get the cut to the bottom, and Hill has lost really 4 positions on the racetrack in the last several laps from 2nd to 6th. As he fades on the long run here. 3-second lead for Christopher Bell over Sheldon Creed. Creed 0.4 of a second quicker than that of Bell the last lap. It was a 3.9-second advantage at one point for Christopher, and now it's 3 seconds even at the line the last time. We still have 30 to go. Top 10 on the leaderboard at the moment. We have Christopher Bell leading. Sheldon Creed in 2nd. Cole Custer 3rd. Justin Allgaier 4th. AJ Allmendinger 5th. Austin Hill 6th. Sammy Smith 7th. Chase Elliott 8th. Parker Kligerman 9th. And Jesse Love is in 10th. So that is the top 10. Elliott and Kligerman actually battling currently for 8th on the racetrack. Tight battle between Austin Hill and Sammy Smith as well for 6th. Sammy Smith, remember, had that slow pit stop, was 4th at the end of stage 2, restarted 10th. Creed still a little bit quicker, lap over lap than Bell. Bell just struggles on the long runs. His car's just way too loose. It's been like that the whole race. It's probably so good at the fire-off speed that they were maybe hoping to just kind of keep it that way. And then hope that you get a caution right in the middle of this final stage before you lose the lead. And your car's good for the sprint to the finish after that. We haven't had a caution in the final stage yet. 28 laps to go at the moment. And all these teams still have one more set of tires left. Bell's fastest lap of the day was all the way back on lap 2. Same for Creed, in fact. They both ran 30.7s. And they're the only 2 drivers in the entire field that ran their fastest laps of the race at under a 31-second lap time. And only half of the top 10 have ran their fastest laps of the race on that second lap. The rest in the top 10 at lap 98. Parker Kligerman starting to fade. Jesse Love passed him for 9th. We saw Elliott pass him for 8th a little bit ago. And now Shane Van Gisbergen into the top 10 for the first time. He passes Kligerman for a spot. So as they continue to lose track position here. Same for Christopher Bell by way of interval-wise over Sheldon Creed. 2.4-second difference between Bell and Creed. Can this be the day Sheldon Creed finally gets his first career win in the NASCAR Xfinity Series? By the way, we're also at 43 likes on the stream, so be sure to hit the like button so we can try to get to 50 before the end of this one. Try to get our move to 50 likes on the stream. Just watching Sheldon Creed continue to close. Last lap, Christopher Bell was actually quicker than Creed. Bell picked it up a little bit, ran a 33.521. From the outside all the way as close to the wall as he can get through 3 and 4 all the way through the corner. It's going to be a fun finish to this race. We see a lot of great races, a lot of close, great slip and sliding finishes in this Xfinity Series, especially at Darlington. We see it on the Cup side as well, but these Xfinity races are something else down the stretch. And it seems like it's always a Cup guy against an Xfinity guy almost every single time. Think of Busch Briscoe in 2020, Larson Creed in 2022, Hamlin, Chastain, and Brandon Jones back in 2020 as well, I believe. And here we are in this one. Christopher Bell versus Sheldon Creed, perhaps. Custer's in third, but he's 4 seconds off the lead still. In that last lap, he was slower than both the 18 and the 20 ahead of him. Oh, Sammy Smith just got up against the wall, and his slide job passed for 6th over Austin Hill. So we're going to end the chat poll, the second one. 37% of you saying somebody other than Bell, Elliott, or Allgaier will win. So it seems like it's a Creed. And second, maybe trying to make you guys correct in the chat. Other won the original poll too, so I think it's straight up that you guys think somebody, majority of you at least, think somebody other than Allgaier, Elliott, Bell will win. Allgaier currently 4th, Bell obviously leading, and Chase Elliott is in 8th, which is really about as high as Elliott's been in the running order today. Well, he restarted 5th, but he fell back a couple spots initially. And now he just passed Hill for 7th, it looks like. So Chase up another spot. Man, the 20 of Bell's super loose. Again, chases it all the way down the track, too. Through 1 and 2. 20 laps to go this time by a 1.7 second lead for Christopher Bell over Sheldon Creed. We'll go through the top 10 one more time quickly here. We'll go with the intervals between them this time around. Again, Christopher Bell, 1.7 seconds ahead of Sheldon Creed in second. Cole Custer is 4.1 seconds back in third. 4.1 seconds back and forth is Justin Allgaier, now battling Custer for third. J.A. in fourth. A.J. Allmendinger in fifth. He's 4.6 seconds back, so all three of those guys real close to one another. And a bigger gap back to Sammy Smith, who's 8.8 seconds off the lead in sixth. Chase Elliott 9.9 seconds back in seventh. Austin Hill 10.8 seconds back in eighth. Jesse Love in ninth, 11.1 seconds off the lead. And Shane Van Gisbergen at 11.3 seconds off the lead. That is the top 10. Again, each of these teams still have one more set of tires left the rest of the race. Last lap, Christopher Bell was quicker than Creed again. And the lead got pushed back to 1.9 seconds. So they've kind of traded lap times, but it seems like Creed has closed more on Bell. Again, that gap was 3.9 seconds at its largest here in Stage 3, and now it's about a second and a half. Bell's just so loose and having to go longer in the final stage on these tires than what he did in Stages 1 and 2. Really attests to, how good Christopher Bell is for him to be able to hold on to this race car and still keep the gap he's kept as of right now on Creed. But Creed's got to be hungry for that win. Definitely be a lot more important to him than what it would be for a Bell win here today. Allgaier, by the way, did make the pass for third on Custer, and Allmendinger still behind Custer as well for position. That last lap, Justin Allgaier wasn't as quick as the 18 and the 20. Again, he's still 4 seconds off the lead. Trying to replay the 21 and the 17. Elliott with the slide job, then he got a little loose. 21 of Austin Hill got up into the back of him. I think both cars somehow kept it off the outside wall. I don't know how. The contact they made off the exit of turn 4, but it looked like they did. Shane Van Gisbergen up a couple more spots, by the way. Hill lost another, and then Jesse Love had just gotten past, so SVG up to 8. One of his better runs on an oval this season. Traditional oval, not super speedway, of course. One lap car between the top two in the running order at the moment. A 1.3 second difference between them at the line the last time by. Creed. Both running the outside of the racetrack all the way through the last time in 3 and 4. Riley Herbst, by the way, back onto pit road again. Maybe putting the last set of tires on his car at this point. Might as well. Maybe just try to make up another lap here before the end. Although he probably lost a lot of time with everybody else staying out, so I don't really know that's going to do anything for him. Maybe looking at the running order around them, maybe thinking they could pick up a couple spots or so. He's been on pit road for a minute now because he was on the same lap as Perkins, and now he's 4 more laps behind him. Tough day for Riley Herbst. After running 7th early going when he made contact with the wall initially, which cut his right front. I think we're setting up for another Darlington Instant Classic here today. I don't know about you guys, but I'm thinking we're going to see another Darlington Instant Classic. Creed is closing. You would think with as close as he came to winning here a couple years ago in Kyle Larson, this could be the day. Started on the front row. And the only guy that's had a car capable of beating him is the guy out in front of him at the moment. 12 to go for Sheldon Creed. He's 0.7 of a second now behind Christopher Bell. Last lap, almost 0.2 quicker for Sheldon Creed. Can he get by the veteran? These two made a little bit of brief contact on that last restart. Bell tried to take the 18's line away. The 18 holding back, trying to conserve his tires. Christopher Bell got out to the giant lead, and now Bell's going to be the one to try to play defense while Creed's on the offensive side. Lane off the wall most of the way through 1 and 2 for Creed. Just trying to get a little clean air on the nose that he's getting closer to the 20. 20 car all the way near the wall. That last time by. Now both cars up against the fence through 3 and 4. Trying to get as close to it as possible without touching it. Great job by both drivers there. And the closer the 18 gets to the back of the 20, running that same line through 3 and 4 up near the wall, the harder it's going to be for him without his car getting tighter and tighter. A lot easier for him to run a different line through 1 and 2. Picked up a lot of time. That ground was gained through turns 1 and 2. Creed kind of diamond cut the corner off a lot more than the 20. It's how you can tell he's getting more turn in the center of the corner than that of Bell. Bell gets against the wall through 3 and 4. Bell picked up another Darlington stripe, and Creed's coming. 9 to go. 9 laps left. And here comes Creed. He's not waiting any longer. Gets to the back bumper of Bell. Bell slips up the track again. Creed to the lead off turn 2. Textbook pass by Sheldon Creed. He got a little loose off turn 2 as well, trying to carry as much speed as he could. And Bell's going to try to cut to the bottom of the track again into 3 and 4. Creed's got to not overdrive the car at this point. He's got better equipment at this point in the run. The 20's fading. Sheldon Creed with 8 laps to go leads at Darlington. Can Christopher Bell keep the 20 close? Just enough that if Creed overdrives the car just a little bit, Bell could still be there for the pounce. I don't think he touched him. He might have taken the air off the rear spoiler, getting as close as he did. Definitely seemed to be the case. Bell did a great job keeping it off the wall. And it's just a textbook pass there by Sheldon Creed. That's how it's done. Long overdue for Sheldon Creed to break through the victory lane. Meanwhile, position changes in the top 10 recently. Carson Quapple passed Austin Hill for 10th. That's the highest he's ran in the running order. And Shane Van Gisbergen had made a pass for 7th on Chase Elliott. So those passes also happened in the top 10 in the midst of Creed taking the lead away from Bell. And he's pulling away. 9/10 of a second lead with 6 to go. Creed just hoping it stays green at this point. His race to lose. 5 seconds over Allgaier in third. Custer's still barely in front of AJ Allmendinger. That's a close battle for fourth currently. Probably the closest battle of any in the top 10 is the battle for fourth between the 00 and the 16. 5 laps to go for Sheldon Creed. Well, it's not a close battle anymore. We got problems for the 16 of AJ Allmendinger. Allmendinger had just gotten up against the wall in the midst of trying to make a pass on Custer. Custer had hit the wall first. So Custer got up against the wall. And then AJ Allmendinger's right front tire had pinched off as well. And now we have a caution. Caution is out. And it's for the 16. Yeah, that's definitely a yellow. Big hit for the 16 of Allmendinger. The right front definitely went flat. He had the tire rub after contact when he passed the front stretch the last time, and then in 1 and 2, it just completely let go, and he smacked the wall hard. And that is not what Sheldon Creed wanted to see. A caution with 5 laps left. This will send us to overtime. And with the laps on these tires, everybody's got an extra set left. They'll be coming on down to pit road to use them. Plenty of Bell has won the race off pit road every time so far today. I would imagine that he's going to be tough to beat in the pits this time around. Kid. Just with being as close as he has been so many times. Pit road not open this time by. This will push us past our scheduled distance of 147 laps, so we will head to overtime for sure with this caution. And again, every team's got 1 set of tires left for this exact moment. If we did get a caution, I would imagine pit road will be open this time by, though. This is definitely the money stop. Final one of the day. 2 to go. And what will you do to try to win a race? Battle for the regular season championship. Both drivers in the top 5 between Allgaier and Custer right now as well, 3rd and 4th. Custer came into this race 33 points behind Allgaier for the points lead. And Allmendinger, without a win this season, had a good run going. Custer just kind of slipped up, got into the wall, and then AJ running right behind him had nowhere to go. It crunched the right front right into the left rear of Custer. Enough that it bent the right front fender in on the 16 of Allmendinger and cut the tire. Here comes Creed and the rest of the field to pit road.
And here they come to you, Kim.
And this will be the money stop. Everybody hoping for something solid. You see Cole Custer, top left, just overall grip he needs. It's going to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel, Sheldon Creed, just a little free in. Looks a little slow, though, on the right side of that change. 4 fresh Goodyear tires, Sunoco, or actually no Sunoco fuel, Dave.
4 Goodyear tires for Justin Allgaier. He can afford tape on the grill. He's got engine temperature room for that.
Slow stop for the 18.
Be freed up for
Oh.
20 team, and they beat their teammates, the 18, off pit road. Clean stuff so far for the 20 bunch. Bell has been very good. He said the car was not really bad on that last run. You see the 18 coming down pit road. 2 Bells left, and there goes Christopher Bell. Looks like Christopher Bell.
For the 18 and the 7. The 7 of Allgaier had a 17-second stop. 15-second stop for Creed's team. Creed loses a couple positions on pit road. 7 spots lost for Allgaier, falling from 3rd to 10th. And Creed's not even going to be on the front row here. Still 2 laps to go. You never know what could happen. Could get more than 1 overtime restart as well. This thing is definitely not over. So Christopher Bell wins the race out of the pits. Creed lost 2 spots, falling from first to third. I'd imagine Custer's going to take the front row. Does Creed go outside of row 2 or inside of row 2? I would imagine outside of row 2 is probably the best bet. We shall see. Most recent, second place finish for Sheldon Creed just 2 weeks ago at Michigan. Leading with 5 to go, a caution forcing overtime. Race is not over yet. Again, third place, but still 2 laps of... Definitely going to be a wild finish. Like we usually see in the Xfinity Series at Darlington, usually it's on a long run. This one, though, going to be a short run, a 2-lap overtime sprint to the checkered flag. We'll have a brief post-race show following the conclusion of this race. You'll get to hear any interviews that take place over the USA Network coverage in their broadcast following the conclusion of the race, which obviously would include a interview with the race winner and maybe some of the other top finishers. Finishing order and other race stats as well. 1 to go until the next restart. Yeah, so outside lane was elected by Bell. Inside for Custer on row 1. Row 2, on the inside, Sammy Smith. Outside, Sheldon Creed. So that is not surprising. As we get ready for the final restart of the race. Hopefully the final restart, I should emphasize. Per overtime rules, as usual, caution comes out on the final lap. Then that will end the race. Caution comes out before the race leader takes the white flag at the start-finish line. Then we will have yet another restart, unlimited attempts, if that happens on a repetitive basis. From where we're looking at right now, it's looking at being 3 laps past the scheduled distance of this one if it ends under the first overtime. Oh, here we go. Custer on the outside for row 1 of the restart. He has not been on the outside of row 1 with the restart as the controlled car all day today. He's only been on the bottom. So how good of a launch in that bottom lane will Cole Custer get on the inside? And can he get a good push from Sammy Smith as well? Green flag is back in the air. Custer getting a nice push from Sammy Smith. Oh, almost a wreck further back in the pack. As they race for turns 1 and 2, Custer on the bottom of the track, trying to take the lead away from Christopher Bell. Bell trying to hold on. Custer on the left rear corner panel. Oh, and he hooks the 20. There's contact. Here comes Creed to the outside. No, they both hold on. I thought the 20 was headed for the inside wall. Cole Custer almost turned him off the exit at turn 2. What a save by Christopher Bell. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go. Bell's got a couple car length lead into 1 and 2 over Custer. Creed remains in third. Thought he was going to have a run at those 2 cars that looked to be crashing on the backstretch. Initially on the restart, not going to be the case. 1 more shot for Custer through 3 and 4. He's too far back. He's not going to get there. And Christopher Bell on the short run. He's been the... And another heartbreaker for Christopher Bell, Sheldon Creed rather, who brings it home in third. Bell with the win, 0.3 of a second margin of victory. Cole Custer finishes second, Sheldon Creed third. Chase Elliott fourth, Sammy Smith rounds out the top 5 in 5th. Jesse Love in 6th, Shane Van Gisbergen in 7th, Chandler Smith 8th, Austin Hill 9th, and Justin Allgaier rounds out the top 10. 11th place finish for Joe Graff Jr., Ross Chastain 12th, Parker Kligerman 13th, Carson Kvapil 14th. 15th for Noah Gregson, Josh Williams 16th, Jeff Burton 17th, Ryan Sieg 18th, Matt DiBenedetto 19th, and Brendan Poole finishes 20th. Ryan Ellis 21st, Kyle Sieg 22nd, Leland Honeyman 23rd, David Starr 24th, Corey Heim 25th, and Anthony Alfredo last car in the lead lap at 26th. AJ Allmendinger 27th, Sam Mayer 28th, each one lap down. Same for Greg Van Olsen 29th. Garrett Smithley finishes 30th, Jeremy Clements 31st, Brandon Jones 32nd, Chad Fincham 33rd. 34th for Blaine Perkins, Riley Herbst 35th. Parker Retzlaff 36th, Kyle Weatherman 37th, and Joey Logano 38th. So in all, we only had 2 drivers, DNF in this one. Again, 26 finished on the lead lap. Christopher Bell led 109 of 150 laps today. We went 3 laps past the scheduled distance with this overtime finish. 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 48 seconds total time on the race. Average speed, 108.47 miles per hour here today. Bell won Stage 1 today. Stage 2 was won by Sheldon Creed. Creed led 30 laps, second most in the race. Sam Mayer also led for 11, and 1 lap led under caution for the 45 of Leland Honeyman. The 45 of... not Leland Honeyman. Who's in the 45 car? Garrett Smithley has led at least 1 lap in the race today. And we had 12 lead changes total. Here's your race winner, Christopher Bell.
Professor, how did you keep your car in line after it?
I don't know. I really need to see a replay of it. That was wild for sure. And Darlington's just such a tough racetrack. And off the 2, whether you're on the bottom or the top, it like flushes you to the wall, and then you kind of get a little bit of a wiggle coming down. So, once again, I feel terrible for Sheldon, to essentially win the race, pass me on the long run there, and then lose the lead on pit road is a big bummer. But really, really happy to win this Sport Clips family. Tyler Allen, what can I say, man? He's been killing it this year, and I'm just lucky guy to get to drive for him.
You had a great car, but how much more rewarding is this win, knowing what you guys had to overcome today?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It seemed like our car was really good on the short run. Obviously, the 18 Sheldon was really good on the long run. So, unfortunately for him, the race played out differently, and fortunately for us, we got another shot at it.
And your pit crew helped out too.
Right. That's right. Yeah, those guys won us the race, and without them, I'm not going to win the race. So, thank you to the pit crew as well.
Christopher Bell, and winner at Darlington, Dave. That makes him 2 for 2 in Xfinity Series wins here this year.
Sheldon Creed standing by, shaking your head. You can't believe it, can you?
No, I lost one the same way a few years ago here. This has always been a really good place for me, and I've always loved racing here. Man, I don't know what to do to be any better than that. I felt like I put in one of my best performances today. And yeah, I love my pit crew, and they do a great job for us. So I can't blame that on them that we just got beat on pit road today. So bummer.
And they had two of the fastest pit stops on the day. You knew that, and you knew you wanted to win at this place that's so historic and where you're so good.
Yeah, I don't even know what the caution was for, but it's a bummer. I'm so proud of everyone at Jacobs Racing on this 18 team, friends of Jacqueline, Toyota. I took a chance on myself, and we brought all the money we could. I'm literally not even making $1 this year, so it just hurts when they get away like that, and especially here at one of my favorite places.
Next week, Rick. Next week.
And Dave, that is the perfect analogy of thrill of victory and agony of defeat. You saw it right there. Christopher Bell, all smiles, happy. He was able to save it after even this contact. Way down the racetrack. You see the 18 of Creed come into the picture, but it was because of that late restart, the caution coming out for AJ Allmendinger getting into the wall, that Creed had to come to pit road. And now it's Christopher Bell that's celebrating his first Xfinity Series win at Darlington. We'll be back with more from the track.
Christopher Bell, 2 for 2 in the Xfinity Series this season, winning at New Hampshire and winning today. He was my pick to win. Hate to see it happen that way, with a late caution setting up an overtime restart, which has kind of been the norm over the course of NASCAR over the last several months. Unfortunately, I mean, this was a legitimate caution. Unfortunately, it's just a bad circumstance there for Sheldon Creed, as A.J. Allmendinger had a right front tire go flat. He hit the wall really hard in turns 1 and 2. We had seen other flat tires where NASCAR kept it green all day, but Allmendinger hit the wall more significantly harder, and he was down on like basically the apron of the track and slammed up against the wall in front of cars, where earlier we kind of seen cars up against the wall already on the outside. Field gets by, they get down to the bottom, no debris, they get to pit road. This was a little bit different of a circumstance in my opinion, so yeah, I felt like they had to throw the caution there based off of how it looked on the replay. So Christopher Bell gets the race win off of pit road, and that basically won him the race as long as he nailed the restart, which he did ahead of Custer, despite a little contact off turn 2, which looked to appear it was going to turn the 20 and the 00 both into the inside wall. I thought Creed was going to maybe have a bigger run on the backstretch after the contact. I don't know how they didn't lose more. Look at the point standings before we get out of here now for the day. Again, the drivers locked into the playoffs with wins would include Shane Van Gisbergen with 3, 2 apiece for Chandler Smith, Austin Hill, Sam Mayer, and Justin Allgaier. Justin Allgaier still holds on to the regular season points lead as well, as he expands that lead a little bit over Custer today. As far as the drivers with 1 win on the season, Jesse Love, Cole Custer, and Riley Herbst. So 8 drivers locked into the 12-man Xfinity Series playoff field. 4 drivers above the cutoff line on points would include Sheldon Creed, who's plus 109, A.J. Allmendinger, who's plus 105, 44 points to the good for Parker Kligerman, and Sammy Smith, who came in minus 15 points to Ryan Sieg, gains 25 points on him, so now Sammy Smith is plus 10 going into Atlanta next week, Sieg's home track. Ryan Sieg minus 10 points, and everybody else in a must-win situation. From 14th on back, Brandon Jones minus 132, minus 149 points for Anthony Alfredo, and minus 210 for Brendan Poole, 16th on the playoff grade. That's going to round out today's race. Congratulations to Christopher Bell winning the Sports Clips Haircuts VFW Help a Hero 200 at Darlington. I will see you guys for tomorrow's race. That will be taking place at 5:30 p.m. Eastern with our pre-race coverage. That will be the Southern 500 at Darlington. Be sure to hit the like button if you haven't done so on the stream yet. We're still 2 likes away from our goal of 50. So be sure to hit that like button as we come to an end on the stream. Again, I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching as always. And we'll be back and better than ever in about 24 hours from now.